Hi everyone, it's Sam from Squibble's Crochet Corner. Today I have a fun free pattern for you all, the No-Sew Mini Leafy Plant. With market season upon us and no-sew patterns being all the rage, I felt inspired to design a quick and easy crochet plant. This plant can easily be crocheted in worsted weight yarn or plush yarn. But for the purposes of this video, I'm going to be crocheting my plant with Premier's Cotton Sprout worsted yarn. So let's get started. Here we have the material list and abbreviations for this pattern. I will be using Premier Cotton Sprout worsted yarn in the colors white, beige, and leaf, a 3.5mm crochet hook, polyester fiberfill stuffing, scissors, a stitch marker, and a yarn needle. If you would like to make a plush version, I recommend using Premier Parfait Chunky yarn in the colors white, toffee, and rain with the size 5mm crochet hook. We are first going to get started with crocheting our pot. Using the white yarn. We will first start our pot with a magic ring. If you've never crocheted a magic ring before, I do have a video on my channel that I can link to down below. Once you have your magic ring, we are going to crochet 6 single crochets in the magic ring. Just to note here, I am using the yarn under technique when crocheting my plant. Feel free to use the yarn over. It really doesn't make much of a difference other than your plant might be slightly larger than mine. Now pull the yarn tail tight to close your magic ring. You will next increase with a single crochet in each stitch around. Stitch markers can be handy to mark the first stitch of each round. Next, you will single crochet in the next stitch and then increase in the stitch after that. Repeat this 6 times around. Next, crochet a single crochet and then an increase. Crochet 2 single crochet, then increase, repeating this 5 times around. Finish this round with one single crochet. In round 5, we will be crocheting in the back loops of the stitches from round 4. Crochet in the back loops of each stitch around. Here's a closer up view so you can see me crocheting my single crochets in the back loops of these stitches. For the next 6 rounds, you will be crocheting a single crochet in each stitch around. I'm going to speed it up here because I think you get the idea. So have fun crocheting the next 5 rounds in your single crochet, and I'll see you after round 11. For round 12, we are going to be crocheting in the front loops of the stitches from round 11. Single crochet in each front loop stitch around. I'm going to take a pause here and place a stitch marker in the back loop from my first front loop only stitch. We are going to be crocheting the soil inside the pot, so I'm just going to mark this for future reference. Now that we are all done crocheting our pot, I am going to fasten off my yarn using the invisible fasten off and weave in my end. For the invisible fasten off, you will need your yarn needle. Insert your needle from the front to the back in the second stitch from your last stitch crocheted. Then through the back loop of the last stitch you crocheted, pulling tight, which will create a false stitch in the place of your gap. This gives your pot a much cleaner finish. Next, go ahead and weave in your end, which there's really not much that you need to weave in because we're going to be inserting the end into the soil inside the pot anyway, so I'm just going to weave in a couple stitches here. And we now have your completed pot. For the soil, we are going to be crocheting in the back loop only stitches left from round 12 of the pot. With the beige yarn and starting in the first back loop only stitch left from round 12 of the pot, crochet a slip stitch, chain 1, and then a single crochet in the same stitch as a join. Next, single crochet decrease. Then crochet 2 single crochets and then a decrease, repeating this 5 times around. Finish the round with one single crochet. For round 2, we are going to start crocheting in both loops of the stitches. First, one single crochet, then a decrease, repeating this 5 times around. Next, one single crochet. This next part is easy to miss, which I just missed it right here, so I'm going to need to frog this stitch real quick. You'll be finishing the round with a decrease, but make sure to decrease in the back loop stitches of the last 2 stitches from the previous round. See how we have 2 front loop only stitches here? We will need these for the leaves in our next portion of the pattern. We will be continuing to crochet in the back loops of the stitches, so go ahead and single crochet decrease 6 times around. But before we get too far, let's go ahead and start stuffing our pot with fiberfill stuffing. I like to take little pieces at a time to stuff my pot just to make sure that it doesn't get too lumpy or too much stuffing in one general area of the pot. Now that we've finished stuffing the pot, let's go ahead and continue round 3. Now I'm going to fasten off my yarn here, and we will close our soil with our remaining yarn tail. So weave your yarn tail through the back loops of round 3, making sure to leave the front loop only stitches available because we will be using these front loop stitches for the leaves. After weaving your yarn tail through all the back loop stitches, I'm going to place a stitch marker in the last front loop stitch just to mark where I'm going to end crocheting my leaves just for future reference. Go ahead and pull tight to close and weave your yarn tail through the soil and in the pot. And we are now all completed with our soil. As stated previously, for the leaves we are going to be crocheting in the front loops from round 2 to 3 of the soil. With your leaf colored yarn, insert your hook into the first front loop only stitch from round 2 of the soil. 1 slip stitch, then chain 9. Starting in the second chain from the hook, 8 single crochet. Then 1 slip stitch in each of the next 2 front loop only stitches of the soil. This next portion of the pattern you will be repeating 4 times. First you will chain 11, starting in the second chain from the hook, 10 single crochet, then single crochet in each of the next 2 front loop only stitches from the soil. You will then chain 9, and starting in the second chain from the hook, 8 single crochet, then 1 slip stitch in each of the next 2 front loop only stitches from the soil. As stated, repeat this same sequence 4 times. Once completed, you should have 9 leaves on your plant. And just to note, where you place the stitch marker in the last front loop only stitch will remain unworked. So go ahead and fasten off your yarn and weave in your ends. Just to mention, as we are finishing up here, you can also find this pattern on my blog, or you can also purchase an ad-free PDF version on my website as well. And there you have it, your finished No-Sew Mini Leafy Plant. You can straighten out the leaves here a little bit if they're curling on you, but honestly the curls just give it more character. I think it looks good either way. Thank you so much for sticking along with me. I hope you enjoy your plant. If you would like to stay updated on new patterns, product recommendations, and more, make sure to subscribe to my channel for future content. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me through my website or email me, which I will link to these down below. Thanks again. Happy crocheting, everyone.